Hello guys and welcome to this video. My name is Aniruddha and my call sign is Victor Uniform number 3 Foxtrot Mike Lima. In this video I'm going to show you the portable field power supply that I've made. It's also called as the solar generator because this can be charged using solar panels as well. I've used a 19-inch toolbox to make this. Let's go and see the different parts of this power supply. This power supply uses 30 ampere hour of lithium iron phosphate battery, and this is the battery monitor display for it. It shows voltage, current, power, energy. It also shows the value in ampere hour, the external resistance of the battery, the state of charge, and the running time. On the right hand side, you see the USB power ports along with its own dedicated switch. So when I switch this on, you can see the battery voltage on the USB port. Of course, it can be switched off using its own switch. On the left hand side, you see this 12-volt cigarette lighter socket along with its dedicated switch. On each of the pillars, so 1, 2 and 2 at the back, there are these LED lights. They can be switched on using this switch. So there are 2 in front and 2 at the back. You can see the current drawn, it is about 400 milliamperes. So this is for 4 LEDs. So each one draws about 100 milliamp. Let me just switch off one pair, and now it shows about 200 milliamperes. Let me switch off the other pair as well, and it now shows 23 milliampere, which is because we have switched on this USB port. Let me switch it off, and now you see there is no current drawn. On the right hand side, you see these two DC terminals. This is where I connect my radio. They can provide a current up to 30 amperes. On the other side, on the left side, there are these two binding posts. This is where the solar panel gets connected. This switch connects the battery to the battery terminals of a solar charge controller. This is what is inside this box. Let us start from the left hand side. So these are the two binding posts where the solar panel gets connected, and they are connected to the terminal which shows solar panels on the charge controller. This is 30 ampere hour of lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is 12 volt 10 ampere solar charge controller. The battery gets connected to solar charge controller at the battery terminals through this switch. So this switch connects the battery to the battery terminals on the solar charge controller. These four are the LED lights. This is the 12-volt socket. This is USB ports that we saw earlier. This is the monitor for the battery surveillance. This is the fuse box. This over here is a shunt for current measurement. This is the breaker for the output terminals. The rating is DC 2 pole 32 amperes. These are the two terminals of the batteries, and there are two fuses, one for the positive, one for the negative. The rating is 30 amperes. So this is what's inside the box. Here I store the cables that I might be using, and also the tools that I might require to repair this in case of some kind of failures. I also carry the fuses that I have used in this, and some other cables as well. This IC718. So right now we are on receive, and my headphones are connected right now. So you can see it's drawing about 780 milliamperes. Let us now check if I transmit, power is maximum. and let's see what is the current draw. This is Victor Uniform number 3 Foxtrot Mike Lima VU3 FML. Victor Uniform number 3 Foxtrot Mike Lima. Testing VU3 FML. It's drawing about 10 amperes of current. I guess it's based on my voice and how my radio is set, I guess. VU3 Foxtrot Mike Lima.
VU3 Foxtrot Mike Lima. That's a very friendly call. That's a very friendly call. VU3 FML. Alpha 62 Alpha. Good evening. 59 over.
Alpha 62 Alpha. This is VU3 FML. You are 59 plus here in west of India. The handle over here is Aniruddha. Nice to talk to you. Back to you.
Okay, Ali. Good evening. Good signal. What's going on? I don't see a lot of your videos over.
In fact, I was making one right now when I heard your call.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Take care and have a nice evening. VU3 Foxtrot Mike Lima. Alpha 62 Alpha.
73s, bye bye. Thank you. This is the solar panel I'm going to use. It's a foldable solar panel. It has also got legs for support. As you can see, there are two fours and the panel has got three parts to it. Together they make 100 watts. It's a bit cloudy today, not much of a bright sunlight. Nevertheless, we are going to use this panel to charge the battery box. Let's go ahead and do that. I will also give you a closer look of this panel. It has a pocket over here which stores the cable. I have connected these connectors that are suitable for the binding posts on the battery box. So let's go ahead and connect this panel to the battery box. Now before we do that, let me just quickly show you the panels up close. These are the panels and they have a support, and this is where the cable goes. Let us now connect this battery box. Now before we connect these connectors to these terminals, we have to press this switch. What this does is it connects the battery to the battery terminals of the solar charge controller. This is necessary because if the battery is not connected to the solar charge controller, there is no place where this charge would go. It may damage the solar charge controller. So first we need to connect the battery to the solar charge controller and then the panels. I'm doing this with one hand. Okay. So it is charging with about 1.97 amperes of current. Conditions are a little cloudy and also the battery is close to 100%. So this is how it charges. If there is sufficient sunlight, it can go up to 5 amperes of charging current. So this is the schematic for the portable solar generator. On the left hand side you see the battery, lithium iron phosphate, 12.8 volts, 30 ampere hours. Now the maximum discharge current of a lithium iron phosphate battery is 30 amperes according to its specification. So in line with both the positive as well as the negative terminal, there are two inline fuses rated at 30 amperes. Next to the fuse is a DC MCB. It is a two-pole 32 ampere polarized MCB. So I'm going to use this MCB mostly for breaking the circuit. So disconnecting the battery from the rest of the circuit. Now you see there are certain markings on the terminals of the MCB. It is marked positive and negative. So since this MCB is a DC MCB, it's going to break the DC circuit, which is more challenging than AC circuit. It needs a good arc quenching mechanism. And by defining these signs on the terminals, what they're suggesting is that make the connections such that the current goes from the positive marking towards the negative marking. This way, the MCB is designed to quench an arc more effectively. So what I mean is that we know in this circuit the current is going to pass in this fashion, and so we know that in order to effectively quench the arc, we need to connect this cable to the positive marked terminal and this cable to the negative marked terminal. This way the current will pass from positive to negative, and so the MCB would be able to quench the arc more effectively. Now for the other pole, we know that the return current is going to enter the terminal here, and it is going to go further this way, and hence we connect this cable to the terminal marked positive and the next cable to the terminal marked negative. So this way the current is going to go from positive towards negative, and hence this MCB will be able to quench the arc more effectively. So that is the reason why it is polarized, and this way we come to know where to make the connections. Moving ahead, the connection goes to the DC output, uh, which is rated at 30 amperes max. This is because the maximum discharge current of battery is 30 amperes. On the negative side, after the MCB, it passes through the shunt resistor, which is used to measure the current of the circuit. There are two terminals on the shunt resistor which gets connected to the battery monitor. Basically, the battery monitor is measuring the voltage drop taking place between these two terminals to know the current. The battery monitor also measures the battery voltage, and that is connected to the positive and negative terminal on the battery monitor. However, the positive terminal gets its connection through a 5 ampere protection fuse. Coming back to the fuse, it is part of a fuse box. So it is a 6-way fuse box, and there are these 6 fuses which you can insert to protect the load connected to the fuse box. The fuse box has got a main connection for positive as well as negative, and these over here are our accessories. So for example, we have LED lights on the left, LED lights on the right. There is a 12-volt socket, there is a USB port, and each one has got their own switch and a fuse protection. So you can insert the fuses according to your loads into the slots provided. So for example, we have LEDs on the left and LEDs on the right. They have their own switch and they have a fuse for their protection. Here in this case we have used 5 amperes each. Also the 12-volt socket and the USB port, they also have their individual switches, and they have the fuses which are rated 10 amperes each for their protection. Let's come to the solar charge controller side. In the video we saw that before connecting the solar panel to the solar panel terminals of the charge controller, we need to switch on the switch which we saw, which connects the battery to the battery terminals on the solar charge controller, and this is that switch. It goes through a 10 amperes of fuse for protection. So this is the entire schematic.
for the portable solar generator. If you have liked this video, if you found this project to be useful, please give this video a thumbs up, and I request you to please subscribe to my channel for more such content. Until next time, 73 is from View 3 FML.